Yes. Okay. Hey guys, it's Uncle Dallas. Hey everybody. Close. The stream 3 is not opening, so we won't be getting Instagram today. It's okay though. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Instagram won't be on. Facebook will be on. Instagram won't be on today. Instagram won't be on today. So it's gonna still say the same. Make sure we got sound. Yeah, might say we got sound. It's gonna still say the same thing. It's been a real long weekend for us. We've been just like running like a chicken without a head. My wife is in there watching the grandkids, and I'm in here trying to do a live so that I can make sure I keep. Is it dark, guys? Is my video dark? Yeah, I'm kind of dark, huh? Kind of dark. What's up? What's up? Can't get me too light now. Let's get me a little lighter. Yeah. Anyway, so this is not gonna be too deep of teaching. We're not gonna be like teaching like we normally are. This is gonna be more along the lines of, let's do this while we can. This is gonna be more along the lines of our ability to just talk about some stuff. It was very loud, weird Christmas. I don't know how your Christmas was, but our Christmas was very interesting. It was we were in Atlanta, Athens. And so in the process of it, we started hanging out in Athens, and it was, Georgia Bulldog country and all the other things you see when it comes to that. And so we were there, and yeah, there we go. Let's see if that works. There we go. We got it. Everybody's on now. So we were there, and while we were there, we're watching these people. Everybody's doing their thing. Yeah. We got it. Now everybody's on. So we're watching everybody do their thing, and everybody operating the way they were, and everybody was operating at Christmas, and different people. And it's amazing to me that we are in this time of this whole situation when it comes to the COVID and all this kind of stuff. And ironically enough, we got sick. My wife and I got sick. We didn't get the COVID, but we got sick. And it's amazing to me, and I want you guys to kind of check this out. It's amazing to me how we are so prone to teaching what the world tells us is the truth and not hearing what the Spirit talks about in the truth. I mean, check that out. It is amazing to me. We are so prone. We will teach what the world teaches us for fear that whatever the world says is going to come on us. But we will never teach what God says or teach how to remain in the Spirit pertaining to our lives. It is just something we just do not do. And I did a teaching, all my people that are part of mentoring, and I'm going to do mentoring class today. Yes, I am. I'm going to send you an article today. I talked about the charismatic movement and the Romans Road. I don't know if anybody knows what the Romans Road is, but I talked about the Romans Road and how the Romans Road it is not an original statement or original rite of passage to salvation. It is actually a bunch of passages that we believed carried enough of an understanding of the process of salvation that we use it as this is what we use it for. And so we're going to talk about that tonight on our broadcast. Let's see, we're moving a whole bunch. Something's not right. There we go. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But so today I just wanted to talk about some things. So now I'm watching this happen, and I'm watching even my wife and I. The Bible talks about being healed, and I believe that we can be healed. And so we tend to move ahead of God with the hopes that if we move ahead at a certain speed, we will move like God. Now, I know that sounds really weird, but we all do it. Everybody I know, I do it. I do it, you do it, we do it. And that becomes, it's a point of fear. We have a level of fear that is so deeply ingrained in us that it stops us from moving beyond the fear. It's like creating a fence inside of a fence. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, imagine you are, I'm trying to find something I can use. I don't have anything I can use right now. Okay, imagine you were in a yard, in a big field, and the field has a fence in the field. Okay, it's a fence. Let's say the yard is an acre, but your fence is only 6 feet, 6 by 6. So you can stand in this fence for 6 by 6. And so what happens is, follow me now. You have been battling so hard to get out the fence that when you finally get out the fence, you don't realize that you're still in the acre. You follow me? There's a passage in Isaiah that says, "Stretch forth the borders of thy tent." You're so busy fighting out of these little things that are in your world that you don't know that there's a bigger world out there. And so what happens then, when you finally do get free of that world, you're afraid to go to the next level because you fought so hard to get past this level. But what you don't understand is that the moment that you got past that level, the next level is free. It's easier. It's a whole bunch easier. But things are made so difficult for you that it feels like, if I can just move to this next level, if I can get to this next move, if I can get to this next box, I'll make it. I'll be all right. And so some of you look for wealth, and some of you look for marriage, and some of you look for all these different things, and I understand that. But there are a couple things that were really prevalent to me. Did I bring my Bible? I did. Excuse me, guys. There are a couple things that are really prevalent. Just in case I need to pull it out. There are a couple things that are really prevalent. Prevalent thing number one: you're only as strong as your mind will allow you to be. Not as strong as your mind, as strong as your mind will allow you to be. We don't talk about the miraculous part of God because that is not a reality for us. We don't talk about the power of God because that's not a reality for us. What's a reality for us is the practicality of God. I want something to eat. What's the practical means by which to get something to eat? And so in order for that practical means to take place, I want practical things that say I'm going toward getting something to eat. Does that make sense? For example, if you say, "Hey, Uncle Dallas, I'm hungry," and I said, "Well, sit there and wait for a second and something will happen." That psyche part of you that is fearful because it has not been conditioned to understand the Spirit of God nor the power of God, will sit there and say, "Why am I just sitting here?" Because that's what you want to do. And so what happens is, something comes. Somebody walks by and go, "Hey man, I just got these 2 coupons for this particular restaurant. Would you like it?" Yeah, I love it. Here you go. Here's a restaurant. So now all of a sudden, your waiting on God has produced something out of the first fence. That's the first fence. You're out of the first fence. And so you're like, wow, that's amazing, because in your mind, the miraculous is something amazing. You follow me? In your mind, the miraculous is something amazing. So you want something like that to happen again because you want the miraculous. However, you don't understand, and I didn't. This Christmas was one of the greatest battles. I had the craziest physical battle I've ever had in my entire life. I have never battled anything like that physically. And so I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so now that you got this free coupon, you get ready to go to the restaurant. Okay, you get ready to go to the restaurant. But you're now so amazed that that thing happened. You're looking at me going, wow, how did he know that? You're looking at, wow, you want logic, because guess what? Some of the things that are the greatest things in your life, you will never understand them. You just won't. And so now you have this thing. So you come to me tomorrow and I say, hey, you say, I'm hungry. I say, okay, sit there. Now, you're expecting the exact same thing to happen last, because what happens, we've been trained in a way that we are spiritually dumbed down. So we are amazed at the power that gives us strength, that gives us the ability to move. You're amazed at that power. So now, Let me tell you the story. So now you have your receipt. Okay. So we go down to spend some time with my daughter. We go spend some time with her. Now I'm gonna tell you this because I'm gonna teach you guys how to operate in this new level of the spirit. And it's gonna help you because what it will do is put you in a position where you have an appetite for the things of God. Right now you don't. We don't. None of us do. And the reason I'm saying that, because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, dude, you're Dallas, man. You're Uncle Dallas. You've been doing this thing for 30 years. How in the world could you not have this appetite for God's movement? But here's the deal. God's movement takes us to the next level in our lives. And what happens to us, because our relationships are crazy, we expect something and counteraction to something that happens. So we don't have a good boyfriend, so we expect something to counteract the not good boyfriend. We don't have a good financial situation, we expect something to counteract the financial situation. We don't feel good, we expect something to counteract it, because we never look at the fact that we are miraculous. That's who we are. Anyway, so we get down there, and when we get down there, everything is happy. We're all ready. We got gifts. My wife makes sure Christmas is great. Everything is wonderful. Everything is going the road that it's supposed to go down. And so we get there. And when we get there, I got a little scratch in my throat. Like, wow, that's interesting. We're in Athens, Georgia. We're in Atlanta, North Georgia, where we are. We're in Georgia. And while we're there, it gets cold. I mean, it gets ice cold. And we never brought anything totally warm. We just brought nice stuff. And so when it happened, all of a sudden now we got the cold happening, and now we got the grandkids happening, and all these things happen. And all of a sudden I felt awful. Guys, I felt terrible. Even the C word went through my mind a couple of times. I'm like, wow. Because now listen, God did something. I want you to hear me. The C word went through my mind a couple of times. No, not critters. And so I'm sitting there going, this could not happen. This possibly couldn't happen to me. So while I'm there, I'm thinking about all those things that have to take place, all the things that we have to do, and those type of things. I get into the room. I'm going to teach you guys a little side lesson. Watch this. I get into the room and I feel gloomy and sadder than I did when I got there. You have to hear me now. I was like, all of a sudden I went into this sad place. And so now I'm laying in the bed in the hotel room, and it's just like, I don't even know if I want to do this. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what's happening. Now, hear me, follow me. Right now, you are trying to do something. Your atmosphere is dictated by what you allow. What I allowed at that moment, I did not know that I was doing this. I'm telling you, 30 years of doing this. So the Bible even says, if it were possible, even the very elect could be deceived. And so I get there and I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like being bothered. I don't want to do anything. I just want to do this and just get out of there. But I get out the hotel, you don't feel anything. Get back in the hotel, it's the same thing. My wife is irritable. It's a real crazy time. And I'm going, what in the world is wrong? Would you know what was wrong, guys? Y'all want to know what was wrong? I never prayed in my room. Some of you have never taken the time to induce the power that's inside of you. So you just accept whatever's happening. You just accept the fact that it's sadness. You just accept the fact that it's sickness. You just accept the fact that you don't have money. You just accept the fact you can't write a book. You just accept it. Why? Because your biggest challenge is just to get out of this little gate that you're in. You don't want to even make it to the other gate. And I did not realize that. And we're sitting here and my wife is just, I'm like, why is she so irritated? What is she so irritable about? What is she so irritated about? And the key was, we never invoked the power of our spirit. Now, here's what's funny. I can do it, but I can't do it for her. We have become so spiritually dumb to the power of who we are that we let the world tell us what we can and cannot do. You will break down to your children everything they say about COVID, Everything they say about sickness, everything they say about the police, everything they say about money, everything the system produces, you will break that down in such detail that the kids probably know it better than you do. But you won't tell them how powerful they are in the spirit. Oh, you will. I'm sitting, and as I'm walking, God is going, this is why I have a challenge with church. Oh, don't get mad at me. This is why I have a challenge with church, because you're not telling them how powerful they are. I'm a miraculous person. I live in the miraculous. But I have not taken the time to break down the fact that I am more powerful than any of the things that come against me. Some of you have married beneath your spiritual level. Well, I'm not unequally. That's not the problem. See, you keep going. You want to use these cliches. Well, I know, because I was the same way. You're not equally yoked with unbelievers. Unbelievers don't have to be the people that don't go to church you do. They can just not believe in the power of God, and you do. And a lot of relationships are that way. You go, my finances are crazy. And with your finances are crazy, you go, well, I don't do this. See, you have to understand, whatever you do, you have to have the power to break the hold of the first gate. The first gate is the gate between your spirit and your mind. That's the first gate. That first gate right now. And I say this all the time. There is no battle but between carnality and spirituality. There is no other battles, guys. There is no other battles. Now, I want to show you this. I'm going to show you this. Romans, the 8th chapter. There is no other battle. There's no other battle. Romans talks about it. Ephesians talks about it. But Romans says this. The 5th chapter will say this. For they who do mind things of the they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For the carnality, for to be carnal minded is death. That means the beginning and the end is carnality. Second part of that. But the spiritual mind is life and peace. So if you're not operating in life and peace, you can bring it here. You didn't hear what? What's wrong? See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That right there. I told you. It's life and peace. Now, here's the deal. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity, not an enemy, it's different. Enmity against God, for it is not subject to the laws of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. Cannot please God. Cannot please God. So let me keep talking. So I get there and I'm going, why do I need to pray? I need to pray. And that's it. I need to pray. But see, here's the deal. And I'm going to teach you guys something that probably change your life if you listen to me. You're going to hear people all over. Listen, you're going to hear people. This is why I do this mentoring class. This is why I make it for free. I'm now going to do another class for people that want to actually be able to teach what I teach and learn what I learn, how I learn. I'm going to do a different class for that. Those people that are part of the mechanics of spiritual power, you're already in the class. Don't worry about it. You've already paid for the class. But the key becomes, we think that praying, this is crazy. We think that praying is enough for what we're trying to get done. But you are in one battle. Everything that is carnal about you brings a certain level of death. Everything that's spiritual about you brings peace. So if you are not seeing peace, what does that mean? You're not spiritual. I'm sorry. I was there. Because I'm praying and nothing is happening. But I get here, I mean, even up until the point of me about to do the show, I get here and I'm going, no, I'm doing my show. Today is the day of show. And I go, my declaration, I don't know what this is doing, but it doesn't matter. My declaration deciding to do my show changed my feelings, changed my physical. Now, as crazy as that may sound to some of you, it may sound like just something that is so outlandish and so out there, but you have to realize you are a spiritual being and the power that you walk in is so much greater. But you have to also understand that your control is your declaration and then you walking in what you have decreed. Make sense? Make sense? Okay. So now I go, okay, I'm going to pray. So I pray. I pray. We have been taught to pray in such a way that is almost pleading with God to fix the problem. We've been taught to pray in a submission to a level of weakness that is the problem, that we submit or yield to the problem. That's how we've been taught to pray. And so what we do, and I do this. There are certain things I know I should do when it comes to you guys. And I don't want to scare you guys. I don't want to put too much on you guys. So I walk with this constant, stay between the lines kind of walking. And when I do that, I do you an injustice because I know how powerful God is. I know how amazing he is. I know he can do amazing things. I've seen angels walk around my room. I've seen all this stuff. But I stay away from those things because what you have to realize is what you're dealing with right now is not your destination. You're in one battle, carnal. Anything you want spiritually, find out what you have to sacrifice carnally. Anything you want spiritually, find out what you have to sacrifice carnally. I was not explaining myself. I was not putting the power of God into action. What I was doing is what I was taught and what we're all taught. Lord, if it be your will, stop all that crazy mess. Just stop it. Stop this whole, and somebody's going to get married. I could give a flip flying right now. We need to stop this mess where we think that we got a big God to do something when we're spiritual people that are seated at the right hand of the Father. But we also have to stop making the world stuff, making it true and making it accustomed to it. Stop living this life that this is the way it's supposed to be. Stop living like the world tells you what you can and cannot do. Stop living like this is what's supposed to happen and this is how it's supposed to. It does not supposed to happen anyway. You are a spiritual being. When you have explained more about things of this world than you have about God to your children, and then you wonder why things are going crazy, when you have talked more about what your pastor said than you talk about what God is doing in your household, and you wonder why life is crazy. Because you've never taken the stance to say we get out of fence one. Fence one is the fence between spirit and mind. Because you're battling something that's bigger than you. You're not. Stop calling up people going, oh, I just need a word. No, you need power. Now, I was on my the mentoring class the other day, and yes, God used me. I spoke what he told me. I hope you listened. If you listened, praise God, he did something for you. If you didn't listen, it's going to happen anyway. But that's not the purpose of me here. The purpose for me to be here is not to let you become dependent on some person telling you this is what God is saying. As y'all see, my grandchildren decide they're going to draw in my office. I'm talking to one of my spiritual daughters, and while I'm talking to her, she tells me, she said, Dad, I think you should have stayed on the video when we did the mentoring class. She said, I was thinking to tell you. She said, I believe God was telling me to tell you to turn the video back on. I said, why didn't you tell me? She said, well, I typed it, but she came on and said something. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She said, why? I said, see, here's the deal. We get this little thing. Now, I understand respect, and please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying to be disrespectful. That's not what I'm saying. But you have got to get to the point that you have a boldness in what he says. See, we take boldness and arrogance at the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. Boldness claims what belongs to you. Arrogance claimed what belonged to somebody else to make it look like it's yours. See, boldness says, I'm going to get that because it's mine. Arrogance want everybody to see you getting it because you think it's yours. See, when we understand that what we live right now is a small portion of what we can live. So we get to the place, and we get to the place. Now follow me. I'm telling you, this is all crazy for me. So we get to the place, and every time we go in there, we're going there. I get out of there, and I wrote this down. I get out of there, and I realized that I had allowed, hear me guys, this is me. I had allowed the spirit of detriment, a lowly minded spirit, I'd allowed it to attach to me. I'm telling you, this is deep. I need y'all to hear me. Many of you right now are around things and people that you allow them to speak into your life. You allow them around your life. And it's okay because you're more powerful than it. But if you don't know that you have the power, what you'll do is simply submit to it. Listen, example. Your mother told you that you weren't pretty. So now and from now ever, you're fighting the fact that you're not pretty. But you're gorgeous. Men around you all the time, you're gorgeous inside and out, and that thing has happened to you. Maybe you're not that. Maybe you're around people that you feel are more beautiful than you. And so what you do is you begin to compare who you are to them. This is what social media has done to you. Social media has told you that pretty is this and this, to the point that people are injecting their butts, injecting their breasts, injecting their lips, injecting their face. Why? Because they want to stay at a position where they become relevant. But you don't know that you're relevant because your relevance does not come through your ability to be physical, because there's only one battle. Now, when you really look at that passage, it says, he that is carnal minded is an enmity, is an attack against spiritual mindedness. And so what happens is that enemy or enmity, that the enemy, one is to destroy, one is to subdue. That subduing has now put you in a position where every man is looking for that. That's what you think. We'll talk about that some other time. And so now you're being subdued by that. Here's why. Because you think that your one little mindset can't do anything. So instead of you going, I'm taking a stand, I'm going to be a virtuous woman, I'm going to be a victorious man. We'll just say victorious. I'm going to be a victorious man. I'm going to be different. That the power that's inside of you is not the majority. You think it's just you're a minority. You're a minority. And so what you do is you live this life as been a minority. Let me continue. I have a lot to say and a little time to say it in. So I get there and I get the battle. I'm in the battle. And as I'm in the battle, I'm laying in the bed. And every time I got in the bed, so finally I realized, wait a minute, this stops today. Right now. When it stops, people are not going to enjoy what you say and how you say it. But two things. Do it in love and do it in truth. Two things. Do not do it in arrogance. Don't do it like you're better than anybody else. Do it in love and do it in truth. Why? You have to break the first block, and that's between your mind and your spirit. You've got to break it. If you don't break it, my friends, you will be constantly fighting in and out of the battle. I mean, it's so deep. This thing is so deep, it's funny. It is your timing. It is your thought process. It is your resting. It is your getting up. It's taking back control of your life. I've told a number of friends, but by this week alone, stop going to church. For 3 months, don't go. Don't go. Don't look at it on TV. Don't do anything. What you're going to figure out is that your mind has shifted to this point that you think you need and require certain things. And those things that you require are simply what the world told you that you required. And so in your ability to be afraid and your ability to try to make sure that you're not hurt, or your ability to try to make sure nothing goes wrong, you do these things. You're popping pills. What? You're popping pills because that's what you think they do. You're doing all the things that they tell you to do. Can I help you out? Let me just break something down to you. Let me just break something down. You ready? Okay. Check this out. Did you know the human body has the capabilities to heal whatever is coming to his body? Did you know that? Did you know when God created your body has the innate ability to heal itself? Well, yeah, if you eat healthy. See, here's why I have a challenge. I'm thinking about doing another show called Truth or Perspective. Okay, Truth or Perspective. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do it. So here's the deal. People say, well, you have to eat certain things to be certain things. No, that is not true. I apologize, and I'm going to mess up some of your dietary world and mess up all this kind of stuff. But here's the deal. Most of us are not disciplined enough to do what I'm about to tell you. Most of us. I'm just saying, me too. Most of us are not disciplined because we're carrying around so much other weight that when I give you something that is as simple as this is, it's going to mess your world up. Your body has the capabilities to do everything you want it to do, not even in the spirit. So check this out. Check this out. I just saw this science, this interview, and she said the challenge is that you have to make sure that there's enough insulin in for the amount of money. Insulin in for the amount of starches. I think we're talking about for diabetes. And she said, well, how do you reduce it? She said, for the amount of food, you have to increase your amount of exercise. Now, I'm not going to go into deep because I'm not trying to be a scientist, nor am I trying to be a doctor. I want you to hear me something. Everything that you eat, if you burn it off at the level that you want, to lose, you can eat what you want. Okay, follow me now. Follow me. If you eat a steak, walk 2 miles, your body kicks in and start using that steak as energy. But if you eat the steak and go to sleep, it uses that thing as stored fat. So it'll store the fat so that it can protect itself. It'll store the fat so that it protects it, just sits there and it begins to store fat. Because it's a system. But if you begin to walk at the level that you eat, so whatever you eat, you begin to walk or you go on the treadmill, try it. You can eat what you want, keep your body healthy. Now, junk food and all that kind of stuff, we know that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you just eat a regular meal. You sit down, have steak and potatoes and collard greens and greens or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's that. Your body has that already in it. You don't know about that. You don't know about that because we cannot give God's creation that type of glory. We cannot give God's creation that kind of power. You're way too powerful, so we can't give it that kind of power. That's it. That's all. Every person on here, you have the capabilities to beat anything that comes into your body. But we do not have the capabilities to be physically disciplined enough to do it. Go to sleep, get up in the morning. Nope, got a TV show, got to watch my TV show. Nope, got to do this. Nope, got to do this. Why? Because they've inundated you with stuff that you believe satisfies your carnal. It satisfies your carnal. It makes you feel like you're supposed to do it. That satisfies your fleshly person. You follow me? And so now what happens is you eat food and you go somewhere and sit down, and we call it rosis or roitis or whatever they call it. You have that capability. That's on the physical level. In the mental level, there is not a person that is on here that does not have the capability to do advanced brain surgery. I was watching an interview one time. And on the interview, this scientist came up and said, I need you guys to understand something. He said the level of genius that it takes for an athlete to do what he does is far beyond what we understand. That means, and I'm going to try this now. I haven't been able to do this in a while. Let me see if I can do it. I need to be over here, out of my way. I can't do it. I used to be able to do this. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. All right. I can't do it. I used to be able to do this. There we go. There we go. Now, I saw that. Hope you see it. There we go. There we go. Now, The level of genius that it takes to do that is so simple to our mind that we never take into consideration that it's that important. So I can take anybody right now and say, listen, I'm going to show you how to do that. And they go, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, yes, you can. Why? Because the capabilities that it takes for you to do that, those capabilities are inside of you. Have you ever dropped something and caught it before it hit the ground? Scientists, your brain does that. Now, all of that stuff I'm saying to you, that's not even your spirit. That's your physical. That's not even your spirit. You have been conditioned to not pay attention to who you actually are. So we continue. We're going where we gotta go. Finally, my wife says, "Okay, I'm ready to go home. Let's go. I gotta get out of here." She knows she has to get out of the hotel. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. We hop in the car. We drive. It's still remnants of it in this thing. My wife and I have a great relationship, but it was the most. It was like being in the car with a porcupine. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't fun. It wasn't enjoyable. It was nothing. And what had happened is, the physical mindset had been set in. That's why I said what she just did. The physical mindset is set in such a way that we did not pull ourselves into the spirit. The spirit that kept our relationship going. The spirit that kept our lives going. We did not. Guys, we have to stop letting the obvious nature of the world be our world. You have to take a stand. You have to take a stand. For me, I've got to take a stand. I'm doing these classes, I'm doing these courses, hoping that you guys will come to the next level, hoping that I can get you to a place where you begin to see God move. And then I have to battle, because here's the deal. Every place I'm going to, I have to experience. Not so I can say I'm better than you, but so I can speak from experience, because experience creates revelation. Not just teaching, experience creates revelation. And so for every area in my life that I go through, I come and go, hey guys, here's something I want to teach you. Here's something I want to show you. Tonight's mentoring class, darling, it's going to be on a whole nother level. I promise. Because I've got to get God to speak to you. I've got to get you to see in the spirit. I got to get you to move in the spirit. I got to get you to learn how to acknowledge God in every area of your life. I got to get you to know that flashing light that seems like it's over twinkling in an eye is actually an angel. I have to let you know that your house is your domain and nothing has the power or the authority to be in there unless you allow it in there. And sometimes complicity is the reason that's allowed in there. I got to let you understand. I need to get you to see that. I need to get you to see that sometimes you're in the wrong area, but you don't want to move because it's a spirit holding you there. Now, we want to talk about it like it's demons, but it's not like a demon. It's the fact that you are so convinced that this is the safest place for you that you won't make a move to go in any other place. I have to get you to the point that you are willing to let something die that you think has to live in your life in order for you to be okay. I do my very best, my very, very best, not to put you guys in a position that religion has done for over a couple hundred years. I do my very best to do that. I do my very best. I know the type of people that I'm dealing with. Right now, we're over 100 and something people are part of our mentoring course. Are they all going to be there? No. Some people just want to be able to say they did it. Some people want to say, oh yeah, I'm a part of it. But there's going to come up a group of people that really are willing to change their lives and really want difference, that want to change, that don't just want a real change in their lives. They want to look up when we get to the new year and turn over to that new leaf, that life that they were part of is gone. I can't calculate that. I can't say it's going to be 10%. I can't say it's going to be 100%. I can't say. That's not my job. That's above my pay grade. My pay grade is to give you such a level of teaching and such a level of information that you're not tied to where you are right now. It's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. When you understand that it's deeper than that, you understand that God's love is so much more powerful than that. How much of your life right now, now check this out, follow me guys. How much of your life right now do you believe is there because God loves you? How much of your life do you believe is there because God loves you? Forget about church, forget about religion, and I don't teach that. We're not trying to be religious. I'm not trying to figure out whether you can be a part of the Church of God or organizational job. Who cares about that mess? And people will get on and I watch these preachers and it just drives me up a wall. Just, oh my God, it's like my scratching a chalkboard for me. Listen, the bottom line is you need to be spiritual. You don't need to be religious. You don't need to be in church. You don't need to be in any of those things. So now we got people that say, I'm an atheist. It's a religion, guys, whether you want to face it or not. Well, I'm a Christian. Okay, get beyond Christianity. Get to the point that you don't have to be identified with a group to feel like you're somebody. Yeah, we're going to be a part. Everybody's going to be a part. The mentoring group, I want you guys to be a part of each other. But you don't have to tell anybody you're part of the mentoring group. Let your light so shine before me and they say, God, where you learn that? So I learned that from there. But you don't have to be a part of it. You follow me? We are teaching you that your survival is because you're part of these organizations. You follow me? Everything that you are happening right now in your life, God is in there. Everything. Every move, every jump, every slide, every stop, it's all God. It's all God. But here's what you're going to have to do. Here's where it gets difficult. Stop making compensations for people that are not spiritual. Stop adjusting your life because they don't know how to live in the spirit and you do. Just do it. Just do it. Now, I understand some of you are married, and that's not what I'm talking about, but don't make compensations for people that aren't spiritual. If you want to pray over your food, you pray over your food. Stop being, I'm embarrassed. It's amazing to me that people that do all kind of crazy junk, they're not embarrassed to be crazy. But people that are spiritual are afraid to be crazy. You want to pray over your food, then sweetie, pray over your food. That's what you want to do, pray over your food. Eat, pray over your food. You want to lay hands on somebody, then lay hands on somebody. Live the spiritual life that you want to be in your life. Why? Because we are stagnating ourselves because we're so busy trying to make adjustments for people. If they don't want to go, let them do what they got to do. They're going to either end up in one of two places. They're going to end up right here where you are, which is where they could have started, save them some time, or get them been somewhere over themselves, depressed and upset and not happy with their lives because they're so busy trying to be what they don't need to be. And that's God. Stop trying to be God. And live the life. My job is for you to be able to see God. That's it. That's my job. My job is for you to see God. Yeah. Yes, I've made compensations. I've stopped somebody said put my cash up. I don't put my cash up because I don't want anybody to think it's about money. If you think this is about money, you're the idiot. I'm not. Why? If you have not seen a change in your life, then go somewhere else. I'm not mad. Maybe I'm not your style, bruh. Maybe I'm not your style, sister. Oh, he's trying to start a church. If that's what you think, keep it moving. That's not my job. My job is to get you to a point where you see God move. That's it. That's it. That's it. You may get everything I teach you and you may take off and be the next great thing. I may never see you ever again. I will never know. Now, appreciation. Appreciate you, Dallas. Good looking out. Hey, the job is be obedient and do what he tells you to do. See, sometimes in our mind we go, yeah, I'll do it. But in our spirit, our actions, we don't do it. Be obedient. I've done this for years. And the thing that have happened, if I can just be really, really, really transparent right now, really transparent. You know the thing that happens most of all? People think that I don't need them. I don't have a lot of best friends. I don't have a lot of people around me. I have people that love me. I don't have a lot of best friends. People think I don't need them. And so what happens is they get to the point where when you come close to me, I'm telling you now, I'm just helping you guys out. When you come close to me, the magnitude of God's power is going to be on you so strong. Your dreams are going to change. How you feel in the spirit, all that stuff is going to change as you come closer. Why? Because that's how I live. But what's going to happen also, your battles are going to be stronger. Yeah. Your battles are going to be stronger. That's what we're going to talk about that tonight. It's going to be stronger. Your mind is going to start going, man, what is he? What about that? You are amazed because you will begin to see that you are idolizing positions that have nothing to do with what God wants to do with you, but you want to be like everybody else. I was up this morning while I was praying and I said, it's amazing to me. I've been trying to help people get to this level. I got 169,000 followers. I've been trying to get people to this level, and they all look at what's my agenda. From you, what would my agenda be? There are people that would love to have 5 mentees, 5 people they mentor. What would my agenda be? Guys, the people on here, you cannot supply my needs. I'm trying to be transparent because I'm trying not to be disrespectful because I don't mean this in any disrespect. Right now, our family needs enough money right now that your car, you can get a new car with it. Today, I'm creating an app for those people that want to be mentored into training to teach what I'm teaching. The app is not free. We're creating a website for those people that need, well, the app will probably be the same thing as a website. We're creating that. We're also putting together a spiritual retreat that I want to be free. So I'm trying to figure out how to not charge you guys as much so you can be here because you need it. But the hotel, you follow me? That takes money. Doing this, all this equipment, all this stuff, I have to hire somebody now so that I can have somebody to make sure that all the things are taking place. That takes money. There's nothing that I can say to you to say. Now, if you are a billionaire and you want to get rid of $1 million, give me a call. But I don't think there are billionaires on here. There may be a couple of millionaires on here. But that's not my reason for you being here. That's why I'm not going to talk about it for 20 minutes. My reason is when you get up in the morning, that there's a level of peace in your house and a peace in your life that for the first time in a long time, a slight smile goes on your face and go, you know what? I like this. I'm all right. I'm good. That you move beyond this place into a place where you go, I see myself doing better. I can go to the next level. That's my job. Now, in the process of that, God supplies the need. Do I fight? Just like you fight. Do I battle? Just like you battle. But I don't get depressed. I just fight the battle. Why? Because you need something today. You know what I do? I want to get to a point that we have 1,000 people mentored, 1,000 people. And every month, you know what I want to do? Every month, we're going to grab a person. And everybody's going to cash up on one person once a month. Just everybody. Just do something. Be nice. Because money is not what we need, baby. we need God. Every once. We should do it. Come together and go to restaurants, do all kind of nice stuff. Let's go to the next level. But you have to get this level together. Otherwise, it'll take you. So let's finish the story. So finally we get in the car, we drive, and it's just rough. The kids are making too much noise. The wife she's not in a great mood. I'm riding over to sleep. Everybody's not feeling well. We get to the house, and we get in here, and it's just so peaceful. It is almost like a Rose of Sharon. It's like an aroma in here. I hear a lot of people say, do you use sage? I don't use sage. God just makes sure there's always an aroma of his presence. And there is an aroma to his presence. And we get in, and my wife prepares the kids, and then she lays on the sofa, and I come in here, look in my office, and for some reason my internet is down. That's why I don't get on last night. And while my internet is down, I'm here fixing my internet. My grandkids come, and all of a sudden, that's what this is. They sit down and they begin to draw and, do all kind of stuff on old sheets of paper that I have. And I slowly go down, and I realize, peace. Peace. You're stressing about a whole bunch of stuff that you can't fix right now. There's nothing you can do about it. But you can pray and give God some room to do something in your life. He can change some things in your life. I know that the mentoring is difficult because to be a mentor, you have to be a forerunner. You have to be somebody that fights the battle. You have to be somebody that's willing to take a hit. Yeah. If I told you the hits that I took, most of you would think I was joking. $5,000 hits, $10,000 hits, house hits, car hits. I take the hits. Why? Because I can't win the battle if there's no battle. I can't show you how to win the battle if there's no battle. Oh yeah, I would love to come and say, oh yeah, girl, yeah, millionaire. Well, we do, I do, yeah. You tell me that you are concerned about me spiritually, but you're making so much money you can barely go through anything. And you don't sacrifice. You definitely don't sacrifice, because once you figure out that you have these means, you don't think about it. It's amazing that people that aren't spiritual will do better than people that are saying they are spiritual. Now, can we do well? Yes, we can do well. Yes, we do well. And once you do well, God doesn't want you to have something, because the Bible even says for your children's children's children, pass down something for your children's children's children. That's Bible. So that's not, don't get it twisted. The key to that is understanding how to maintain peace within the midst of that. Because some of you, if I gave you $1 billion right now, you would be lost, because you wouldn't know what to do. You'd be so afraid of somebody trying to take your money, so afraid somebody trying to con you, somebody trying to swindle you, somebody trying to take you spend more of your time trying to protect yourself than you would just trusting God. But if I get you to trust God and then you receive something, then you can move in the way God tells you to move. This is why I tell people, I said, give. Give is when you learn to trust, not receiving. Give is when you learn to trust. Receive is when you learn to believe. Giving is when you learn how to trust. Receiving is when you learn how to believe. That's it. Now, for those of you that are part of the mentoring group, I appreciate you guys. I thank you very much. I have just been out of pocket. It's been the holidays, and so let me do this. For those of you that are not on one of the things, here's my little mook right here. Let me see if I can get her to do this. There we go. There she is right now. Instagram, you're not going to be able to see it. But for those of you that are not on Instagram, there's my little mook right there. Yeah, that's the little mook right there. Yeah, y'all see her? She's a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous thing. That's a gorgeous thing. Now, for those of you that are not, there she is right there. Yeah, there she is right there. Y'all see her? There she is. She's a beauty. She's a cutie. She's a beauty. She's a cutie. That's where we were this weekend, spending some time with the new granddaughter. Or not the new granddaughter, spending some time with the mother of the new granddaughter. Yeah, that's what we were. So it was fun and it was interesting all at the same time. But that's who she is. All right, guys. That's it. That's all. So long story short, I got home and I began to pray. I started feeling better. Things were looking better. I realized that there's peace. Take a stance, guys. Take a stance. Take a stance in your life. From this point on, I'm going forward. I'm not going back. I'm not falling back. I'm not falling back into my old habits. I'm going to give you some things to do to help you move out of those habits and stay out of those habits. Now, that's it, people. That's it. Now, YouTube, thank you very much. Again, my name is William Dallas. They call me Uncle Dallas. This is the Higher Standards International Organization. Our job is to train you and to get you into a point where your mind is moving the way your mind is supposed to be moved and live the life that you're supposed to live. That's what we do, and we love you for it. We love everybody that listens and watches. We thank you for everything that has happened. We will be back. We're supposed to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so we will be back probably Wednesday morning to kind of keep us up. We'll probably do Wednesday morning. No, we'll do Wednesday night. We're going to do Wednesday night. Tonight will be with the mentoring class. If you are part of the mentoring class, you will get your text message and your information so that you can do it, and you will be there and enjoy it. I believe this class will help you get to the next level. When the app gets out, everybody will get a copy of the app. Just simply download it on your phone. That way you can be abreast of everything that's going on in the organization and the places that we're going and the things that we're doing, as well as if there's prayer requests or needs. We're going to start doing this thing called Dinner with the Dallases, where we'll come to your city and we just kind of do a meeting and a dinner. And guys, we'll have a good time. All right. I appreciate you guys. All right. This is Uncle Dallas, and you've just been taken to a higher standard. Peace.